Hello, hello, hello. Today is September 10th, and I am officially starting the Madame Grande de la Bouche 18th century Grand Panier prototype. Today I'm going to go ahead and figure out all the measurements and go ahead and get some fabric cut for the waistband and ties. And this prototype is going to be made out of scrap canvas / cotton and 4-foot long industrial grade zip ties. And I'll have to go ahead and scale up my original plans to fit our Madame Grande de la Bouche. So here I am turning out a bunch of tubes. These tubes are going to be used as the straps to hold up the prototype. For this prototype, I decided to go with more of a cage design rather than a petticoat design. The hopes was this actress said that she is worried about overheating a lot on stage, so I wanted to make sure there was enough airflow. So that was the goal of this design specifically, was to allow for more airflow. Here I'm working out of all the points I'm going to sew the straps on. This material is a very heavyweight cotton canvas. As you can see, it has no stretch to it, which makes it ideal for this project because it won't stretch around her waist, it won't stretch down. The goal today is to get everything cut out. I'm hoping it'll take me no more than 2 hours because I have to start making this dress later this week. The hinges have been ordered. I think they're going to show up on Thursday, so I might duct tape it together for now so I have the shape. So I can go ahead and get the dress made, and then once the hinges come in, I can go ahead and make it so it will collapse. Okay, so I finished cutting out all of these and I assembled them. Those are just the ones that go on the sides. What I did was once I got my calculations, I divided that in half and cut those lengths, and then I assembled them at the center because the zip ties I have were only 4 feet long and my smallest measurement was 4.13 feet, so that wasn't gonna work. And now I'm gonna work on the middle bits. I'm using the scraps first, and I'm gonna ideally have at least like 2 layers so it's a little bit stiffer on the front and back. So I'll probably make it so it's like 20 inches, just using the scraps, and then fill in these gaps, trying to have a couple inches of overlap so it's actually going to stay together. And then I'm going to wrap this completely in duct tape so that it's really stable. Okay, so I've run into a problem because, as you can see, the zip ties do not want to hold up the weight of itself. So that's not great. Also, this is scaled up for my mannequin, so this is actually, it looks really big on her, but it'll look about right on my actress who's going to be wearing it. So what I'm going to try and do is double up on these to see if the added thickness makes it sturdier. Okay, so looking at it now, the 2 layer definitely is adding a lot. I only did half of it, so it's going to lean a little bit. But when I hold it still like that is pretty sturdy. I think I'm going to go ahead and do it with 2 layers, and then my center bar I might make 3 rather than just 2. This does mean I need to go buy some more zip ties, but it's definitely working a lot better. And then keep in mind there will be 1 more here to lift it up just a little bit more, and that'll be anchored to a point about here. So I'm gonna go ahead and get these extra zip ties ordered. And yeah, so with what I have now, I will go ahead and try and build down as much as I can. I only have enough, I believe, to go 3 levels. So I will go ahead and get that built, especially because then I can go ahead and just start making the dress since I have to make that soon. As you can see here, I was able to complete that first layer. You can see those 2 elbows on the sides there that allow the support of this garment and allow it to be more curved rather than straight angular. Here I'm trimming up all of the jellyfish tails basically because due to time constraints, I needed this done at the end of that month, and my fitting with my actress was that day. So this was as far as I was going to be able to get with this prototype. before it just went on stage. So this at least allows me to have a control to see what I can do for my final to make it easier for the actress to wear. Here's my lovely actress in her final costume. We ran into a problem because the Panier kind of melted in my car when I was driving down to the Holly one day. So it got super disformed, and I think that was just due to materials. I made it out of zip ties, right? So it can easily be molded with heat. So I knew I needed to figure out a way to fix this for the next run. So I ended up getting some dowels and a couple of other random bits and bobs to create my second prototype. So now, as you can see, I am taking apart my first prototype. As you can see, there's been a lot of alterations to it. They had to do this in order just to keep it the correct shape during the show. They added some dowels across the front to keep that really flat, and they added quite a few more zip ties than I originally had, just to try and reinforce the original shape. That little bag you see on the right, that was used to pull a dress out of her skirt, because this was the wardrobe from Beauty and the Beast, so we had a couple quick things like that we had to add. There it is, all propped up. Overall, I think it achieved the right shape. It wasn't my favorite though, and I think that's okay. I definitely learned a lot from it. I no longer am going to use zip ties for a cage crinoline or cage panier anymore, just because they don't hold the shape. I think the reason it worked so well for me in the past is it was able to hold its own shape. Here I am continuing to just, deconstruct, tear it apart. It's all fun and good. The main alterations I end up doing to this is I buy 2 wire wreath frames from the Dollar Tree, and I turn those into my elbows. Then I cut up these dowels to create a solid square center so that nothing could shift. I also included some triangles at the corners to just try and keep that nice and square so that the rounded edges will just keep that shape. I just really needed to reinforce the shape. You can see my dear mentor Kathy in the back for a second there. Overall, I think this prototype was fine. It did what it needed to do. And then this second prototype definitely worked better, but it was a lot heavier and it was a lot shorter. I cut off the bottom row completely just because it just was not achieving what I needed it to do, because I wanted to ideally have it go out. So